Hey, everybody, it's Pastor Vern for November 5th. It's a Thursday, 2020. We continue on talking a little bit about some of the lifestyle of the people in Jesus's time and even in the Old Testament, kind of give us a better idea of their daily life and how maybe that influenced some of the things that they found that they were able to trend to. And there's lots of different things. We're going to talk a little bit about some different kind of jobs today that they had. I've got a book that lists about 1,000 or 1,500 jobs in the Bible, but we're going to pick out a few that I think are kind of interesting. One of them are called fullers. They did the laundry. They would go out. They would take laundry in from folks. Now remember, water's scarce. They had to travel to the water often with the laundry. So it was a job to lug that's there and then lug it back. Oftentimes they would lug it back wet so that they could hang it out in a place because where they were working would not necessarily have a place where they could dry it. They would beat the laundry with sticks. Yeah, yeah. No Tide Pods that I can come up with. They would beat the laundry with sticks and do that kind of a process to get the dirt and stuff. But apparently, it was quite smelly work because they were required to do it outside of the city walls. Uh, it seems to me, I would think that there was some other soap or some other agent that had some odor to it that made it particularly foul. But anyway, that was one of the processes. Being a cupbearer for the king. Now, that doesn't sound like all that cool a job, toting around the goblet that the king was going to drink out of, but actually it was a prestigious job. It was a job that was not without its danger as well, because not only were you to take care of the utensils that the king would drink out of. Remember, this was a time where someone may try to poison the king, someone may try to do something to his utensils which would cause him discomfort or pain or even death. And one of the things is you had to taste the food and the beverages before the king ate them. Now, on one hand, you're going to eat like a king. But on the other hand, if someone is trying to do in the king, yeah, you're probably in a bad way if you're tasting everything first. Actually, there's one book in the Bible that's named out of a cupbearer, Nehemiah. He was a faithful Jewish person who was a cupbearer for one of the kings of Persia, and in that respect, he was able to find favor and get some aid in rebuilding Jerusalem from those folks. And then we had some of these things that are a little more commonplace, and we think about, but they're not really. Well, this one is. The carpenters are still something that is a part of our lives today. And there was different kinds of carpenters in that day. You've probably seen the bumper sticker where it says, "My boss is a Jewish carpenter," in referring to a relationship with Jesus. Um, but Jesus himself was trained as a carpenter by his father Joseph. And carpenters not only did the kind of things we think about, roofs and doors and all those kind of things, but they also made plow yokes and actually plows and all those kind of things. There wasn't much metal being used at that time. Stone was used, but that wood and it being precious because of the lack of it around, it was an important thing that a good carpenter would use every scrap that he could. And there was different degrees of carpenters. Some of them were like finish carpenters who would do cabinets and so on. And then there were some who did the rougher work, like framing and doors and maybe the utensils for farms. That's what we kind of believe that Jesus, about what he was trained, not in the fine work of finish, but in the heavy work of preparing more practical parts carpentry. And of course, there's fishermen that's mentioned in the Bible. Jesus's disciples, Peter, Andrew, James, John, for sure, were fishermen that and you often use nets to cast them out, bring them back, even though there's multiple ways of fish in that time. There was the line fishing, there was the net fishing, there was a different kind of seine fishing, but the most common was using the boat and going out and casting nets and pulling them back in. And then, of course, hunters were a part of the biblical history. Probably the most famous hunter in the Bible comes to us from Genesis. Yeah, his name was Nimrod. Now, yeah, right. I know that's got a kind of a bad combination today, but he was a skilled hunter trapper, and brought a lot of game in for his family. And we also remember that that came a very important role in one of the Old Testament stories with Jacob and Esau. That Esau was a hunter, and his father enjoyed the stews that he made for him, and Jacob kind of hijacked that stew and got the blessing from his father. So that's we're going to wrap up a little bit on our different occupations in the Bible. We may revisit this later on in more extensive research, but just kind of a fun thing for this week. Well, y'all take good care of yourselves, watch out for others the best you can, and stay safe. Bye.